Morning, everybody. It's April 2nd, a Tuesday, and we are making pretty good progress. Yesterday was a day off. They had something going on at the temple, so the guy wanted to go over there and do their merit making or whatever it is they do over there. But yeah, so everything's going along pretty good. We've got one problem. The second day, the first day we had kind of a problem towards the end of the day between me and the old lady, so I didn't have a chance. The second day I was hurting really bad, so I couldn't get around. I couldn't check on everybody. So he built this wall here, which there's a door, this doorway is going to sit right next to this. So this wall needs to be pretty much dead nuts level. But it is not level at all. It's way out of level. Find the spot where you can see it without it. So it's pretty out of level, and a little bit we could deal with, but so we're gonna have to, after this fourth block, we're gonna have to tear this down because it's sitting at the bottom. If I put the edge right at that brick, the top is about a half inch out, and that's just too much skim coat to hide. And then on the back side is just opposite. The skim coat's going to be beyond the frame on the top, and then a half inch on the bottom. So it's just too far out of whack. So these guys, what they do is they put a string. They put a string at the top, put a screw in there, and then they hang it down at the bottom, and they just build to that string. Well, I was kind of incapacitated at the time, and this really should be laying right here on this beam, because the way I laid this all out is so that we can build right up to the beams like that there, and be pretty much set. And he didn't quite line this one up, so supervisor on site already. He didn't line this one up like that, so that's why it didn't come out quite right. He built to the string, but this string here wasn't level. And I've got a laser, and I've been trying to get him to use the level, and I've been bringing out the laser from time to time and throwing it on the wall and making sure we got good plumb walls. See, like this one. And what we did here, I'm going to have a roll-up door. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if that door right there is a roll-up door. So I'm going to have that here. And so I put this angle here and welded it. We've got it set in here with some little rod, one that goes down into this brick and one that goes back this way. And I welded the tabs to the inside of this, so you really can't see any fastenings. Down here you can see we put one into the ground right there, just to kind of hold it up tight against the block. So this one's nice and plumb. A little bit out, but that one's not too. This side is anyway, but this was pretty much dead nuts on. Let's see if you can see that. So this side was good, so that's the main important thing. But see, they just leave voids like this because they come back and do a skim coat. An American bricklayer would never do walls like this, but it's Thailand. You can't fight everything. And this is the header that we pour, so this has got some rod in it, and it goes across the whole thing. And so that's what he's done here. And some of the other builders will put like a header at the bottom and then a header at the top, and it just kind of helps to tie all the wall together, because you can see like he had a big gap right there. I haven't checked these windows since they should, but yeah, they still slide good. So now today he'll probably build on this. He can build all this, and then we'll probably tomorrow get started on that wall. And then I do have the money this month. We're just going to have them transition over and do the skim coat. So basically what we'll do is you put about a 1/4 inch, a centimeter of cement and sand on this outside, and then using a flat screed, you just kind of smooth it all out, and it just gives it a smooth finish. And then can paint and whatever, lay tile, whatever you want to do over the top of it. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. We'll do the same thing. We'll have to fix this wall. We'll set the door. Then it's 1 block straight up here, and I'm having him fill those with cement. So all these cavities here, all these cavities in here, at least to two over, have been filled with cement. So when I try to anchor stuff in here, if I want to put the power, I've actually got something to anchor to. And otherwise, and one thing I will tell you about these, we found a different supplier for block. So let me show you kind of, and it makes a big difference. So here's the block pile getting smaller. So if you look at that block compared to this block, this one's 5 baht per, and this one's 6 baht per. But this one is substantially heavier. This is probably a good 10 pounds, if not more, heavier than this block. And it's a lot more dense. This one's a whole lot easier to work with. So like if you want to do a half brick, you can snap this one right in half, where this one kind of just crumbles. That's what we built the first section of the house with, but that's what we could find. And then we found this other brick. So this is a nice brick, much better than that. So quite happy about that. It was worth the extra 1 baht per brick. So total 690 bricks. Let's just round that off to 700. So the difference in the brick cost me $20 extra. So it's quite a small expense for a much better quality brick. And then these bricks that we're using here, we've got 2 or 3 piles of those 5 foot tall. So we're just using those wherever we need to space out a block, a space to make something work, like to get to the bottom of the windowsill. We had to do a block to get that window at the height that we wanted. So yeah, otherwise everything's going pretty good. Not too many mistakes. I mean, we make a few mistakes here and there. Like when I set this guy here, I made a mistake. It was a little bit too far this way, so those two are out of alignment, but we just made the wall, compensated making the wall straight, but they don't line up with the 2 poles. But it's not that big a deal, because by the time we put the skim coat on, nobody will ever know. Because if you look right here, there's a little bit, there's a centimeter there. There's a little bit more than a centimeter, so you'll see that little bit right there, but that'll be this will probably all be hidden with skim coat. And then this corner, it sets in there nice because we had to bring this one here is flush now because this post is offset by a good 1/2 inch, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. So that this corner is fine. That corner is going to be, you might see that one when it's all said and done. But yeah, I mean, it's little minor stuff, so I'm not going to sweat that too much. But yeah, it's going. Roof is in. We just need to finish need to put a flashing in here, which is all going to be custom cut to fit this. And then we've got to do a corner piece with the flashing above to fill that gap because I don't want rain coming in there. And then what'll end up happening, I'm gonna go, this section here will go up a little bit higher so that the beam, so the top of the roof just slides right in underneath that roof and go this way. And what I'll have is just an awning hanging out, just an awning right here hanging out to cover this little walkway right here. And then the carport area will cover all that in the future. So by the time it's all said and done, it should tie everything up. It'll help keep a lot of the heat off of this. This is the afternoon sun, so to keep that afternoon sun off of the side of the house. And when we get this stuff all done, this room's going to be pretty well insulated, so this will be our primary sleeping area. We'll come back in and kind of redo this. The bathroom floor needs to be redone in this thing already. This is what, two years old, I think, maybe 3 now. Have to ask Goy. She ran off somewhere. But it's only a couple years old. But there's zero insulation in the walls. There's zero insulation in the ceiling. So this sucker gets hot, man. The air conditioner, when like yesterday, they took a day off and I was hurting, so I just laid in the bedroom there, the aircon running all day long. If I run aircon every night, which we don't use it during the day, but if I run it every night, my utility bill is only $35 a month, so it's not expensive to run the air conditioning or anything. So but it would be nice to have insulation in the walls, so we may pull all the paneling off and insulate the walls, and then definitely got to insulate the ceiling. I put like a little exhaust fan into the ceiling to act like an attic fan. I need to kind of upgrade that to be a little bit better of a fan. We just use like the kitchen exhaust fan, bathroom fart fan for right now. But I just wanted to do a proof of concept without spending, a lot of money. So those were pretty cheap. But we'll change that over to an exhaust fan and probably put it on a thermostat and just let it run. But yeah, we gotta definitely make some improvements to this little house. And when it's all said and done, in a few years, as projects get less and less, we may pull that roof off and put the same type of roof on, and that way everything kind of blends in a little bit better together. And you can get this stuff with insulation underneath it, so that would help also, and to keep the critters out, because right now we've got a couple families of birds living up underneath there. They got blocker up there, but it's just not. Oh yes, Miss Needy, I hear you. They still can make their way up in there. Cats gotta have some love all the time. This little cat here has chased off our mama cat, so he's become the alpha of the group. This was a stray Goy picked up down the street. All the other cats that we have are related from one mama that was here. But the one mama's, she's a little sketchy, man. She always has been a little sketchy, but she liked me, so. But I have to be careful with her. She'll turn around and bite you and scratch you for no reason. I mean, you're just petting her, and if you hit her in the wrong spot, she'll lash out at you. So she's a little bit sketchy, and she's been kind of hiding away because he fights with her all the time. So she's been kind of hiding away, and last night went over, found her and picked her up, and she started growling at me like she liked being petted, but then she's growling at me. So she scares me sometimes, and I'm not really scared of animals. So, but yeah, I just don't trust her. So anyway, that's 15 minutes of rambling. So trying to give you some background on what we got going on. Hopefully it's comprehensive enough for everybody, and hopefully it'll give you some examples what to look for, like the brick. Trying to get your guys to use levels to keep things plumb and level. My little Makita laser has been worth every penny. It's a Makita copy. It's not even a, they said it was a real Makita. I must have put it away already. They said they advertised it on Lazada as a real Makita, but it has the plumb function, the level function, and a vertical line. So you got 2 verticals and a horizontal. So you can lay out a square on the floor in this plane, and then it gives you the square line that way. So you can, when you lay out your 2 walls, you know you've got a square corner there, and then it also gives you a plumb line. So I can set it up right here and shove it right in the corner, and whether that's good or not. So that's been really handy, and it helps. Like this door, for example, we've got it's set dead nuts level there, but this side is plumb, but this side is out of plumb. So just by looking at it, if you look right there and line up the 2 seams, this one's, if you look right there, it's perfect. By the time you get up top here, it's about a 1/4 inch out, so it looks like this beam here is a little bit long, so it's not quite square. Windows Asia, and we had to order. They had to send, the hardware wasn't attached because this window literally shipped like this, no protective wrapping. It had 2 bands over it and no wrapping at all on it. That's the way they ship it in the store to our house, and somewhere down the line the packaging got ripped off. So Tai Watsuda stepped up. Man, I can't say enough of good about that. Those guys, they, no questions asked, they just got it in the mail to us. So it's a little packet like this, just the anchors, all the little plugs. And for the window here, here's the weep hole covers. So they just, it's in the mail already. We noticed it on Sunday. They got delivered, Saturday? And we noticed it on Sunday when we were getting ready get this thing set. And they got it out in the mail yesterday. So yeah, it's good. Those guys, man, much better than Global House guys. So if you go shopping around for places to find stuff, I've had really good luck with the Tai Watsuda. They're my go-to now. So anyway, sorry I rambled again, but all right guys, have a good day everybody. Try to show you once we got this. We got 2 walls, 2 and a bit to go, and we'll show you what we got at the end before we start skim coat. And things you won't see when Americans lay brick is gaps like that in the brick. So there's one there, go those guys. But they do a skim coat on the inside and the outside, so it gets about a 1/4 inch on the inside and outside. So those will get closed up, but you can see the daylight gaps I got all over the place. But that's just the way they do it here, and you're not gonna, I shouldn't say not going to, but it's gonna be hard out here in the villages anyway, unless you've got a big mega builder. That's what you're gonna get. So this is 100 baht per square meter. So this is 5,000 baht. 5,000 baht for all of this work. So 4 or 5 days. So you're making 1,000 baht a day. All right, end of day 5. We got this wall fixed, the door set, the frame for the opening. So I'm going to have like a, the shop roll-up doors here. I can get this door 300 by 200 for a little over 5,000 baht. So for less than $200, I can get like that garage door style door, and it just rolls up into a 40 centimeter box right above the door there. So and they're pretty secure. They're pretty tough to break. And then this is a steel door. So my shop should be well secured. And these blocks here all are full of cement. You can see how wet they are compared to like these here that haven't been filled. He was supposed to fill those, but he forgot on a couple of these, and I didn't really say anything because this is the inside, but this side here, it's going to have the lock in it, and it's going to have outlets as you enter. So there's going to be a lot of stuff on, and the garage door all needs to be secured in there. So a lot of stuff riding on that. So yeah, that's got that welded in place. And this door, I showed it already, but this is setting up, and I put a little thing in there to take a little pressure off of the door as that sets up. So just so it doesn't sink too much. But yeah, that's it. And Goy's cooking some larb moo and coniao. And I'm going to sit on my ass. I'm probably going to drink beer tonight. I haven't had beer in 2 nights, so might have a cold one after I down a couple more jugs of water. See ya. Alright, so it's Wednesday. Fighting with my Lazada purchase air compressor. The regulator won't turn it on when the pressure drops down. So you have to come over here and tap on the side of that thing to get it to trigger, and then it'll pump up and shut off at about 95 psi, but it drops all the way down to 0 and won't come back on. So another quality Lazada product, but the seller is at least communicating with me. I just sent him a video, so we'll see how that turns out. This morning got that closed in. Went and spent 2,600 baht on 10 bags of cement and 2 cubic meters of fine grained sand. So they can they'll finish this up probably this afternoon, I would imagine. Finish this up and then start skim coating. Or they may just start skim coating today, I'm not sure. There's no reason why they couldn't start several places skim coating inside or out. So truck should be here in a little bit. Old Peter's over here watching videos. Got something dead up in the house, something we think is in the house, but it stunk last night, and got up in the ceiling, couldn't find anything big, but there's some ants up in the corner. So I don't know if it's stuck in the eave or whatever, but I turned on so what I did, just to do a proof of concept, I put that kitchen bathroom fan in the ceiling to act as a heat pump or attic fan, and it has really helped a lot to get some of the heat to come out the eaves. We need to improve that, but we won't be sleeping in this too much longer. So as soon as we get this painted and get an aircon unit in here, we'll be over here. because that place is just so hot. So, but yeah, that's where we're at today. So hopefully by the end of the week they'll have quite a bit of this done. So this was 50 yards, so technically it would have only cost me 5,000 baht for the labor for all this work. I did give them 500 the first day, and then I gave them an extra 1,500 today. So for 7,000 baht, which is under $200 right now, they built all of this and put up with me. So that's doing it my way. We had to tear down that little stub wall there, but we got it all built back up, and yeah, so it's I'm fairly satisfied with it. There's a few things here and there that I wish they'd do a little bit better, but pick your battles. So, but yeah, that's it. We're ready to start skim coating. By the time I get this all insulated and sealing in and everything, it'll be a decent room. So we're not doing I know I should put insulation and then build a second wall, but the air conditioning is cheap enough to run that it's not really worth the expense, and I would lose quite a bit of square footage by doing that. So, and they just nobody would understand what I'm talking about to get them to do that for me. And then how to make these windows fit that void, I would have to have a window sill inside or outside, and just trying to explain all that is not worth the fight. So we just got the narrow brick wall. Ooh, garbage man. Sweaty cup! Garbage man's here. Trash day. Woo. Man, that smells. I don't know how they do it. But anyway, that's where we're at today. So see y'all. Put that right. A bit warm in here. Just doing the skim coat. Just lays it on the wall first, and then once it sets up a little bit, we'll come back and hit it with the straight edge, and then he'll start working it with a sponge. Yeah. She's mixing up 2 batches of cement, one as he's using it. So she's staying busy all day today. He's staying busy all day today. But he should knock it out pretty quick. Day skim coat. So this room got finished yesterday. Got all the plastic off the windows and tape. And so what we'll put is we'll put a drop ceiling in here. But you can still see quite a bit of moisture in the block and in the cement. You can see where all the blocks are because they really suck up the moisture. So, but just left to clean this room up, run the electric and sealing, and that one will be done. And then skim coating the outside now. So we'll be done with this by lunch, and then move on to the next 2. So probably 3 or 4 days, but man, we're running through the cement. He's already gone through 7 or 8 bags on 4 or 5. We're at the 5th wall here, so and running through the cement. All right, catch you later. Okay, Friday, April 5th. That wall's complete. Got this room is done. It's just left cleaning up. I've been working on the windows and getting all that stuff done, but today was market day, so we ran to the market. Window Asia, they put that protective, it's like a foil tape, but they put the protective foil tape on this one here and on this one on the back side, but there's no way to access them. So I had to pull the handle off to get the door to slide enough. So Windows Asia, on those 2 spots, pull the tape off. But working on that, getting all the edges cleaned up. He did a nice job on that one. But this is my shop wall, first wall. It was looking pretty nice. He did a good job. I'm asking him to finish that top edge because that's what everybody's going to see. And he did a perfect job on that. So I'm very pleased. This guy does good work, man. He's not a slouch and he does good work. Liu! What up? So what they do is they kind of set these corners and let them harden up, and then what they'll do is they'll come back and they'll skim coat it to that line. So he did one side here. Kind of hard to tell what they got going on, but yeah, it's coming together. Went and bought 5 more bags of cement. That was 600 baht, 600 and change. For 5 bags of cement, and we're down to about 3/4 of a cube of sand. So I think we're going to need another cube at least, but we'll call midday tomorrow and get that ordered. They're closed on Sunday, so if he's going to work on Sunday, we got these three big walls. He's still got he might need another 2 cube and another 10 bags of cement. But what I don't want is a bunch of sand left over. Like we got that, and you have to buy the fine sand. You can't buy the coarse. This is coarse sand, so this is the fine sand because it's a finished product. So, and a little bit different cement. I don't know what's different about it, but we get the blue bags and the green bags for the mortar. So we got one of those bags. You can use it. The other guys used it, but for some reason he wanted the blue bags, and I haven't translated it to see what's different. So but yeah, that's it. The hot freaking day. Hot. Went to the market, and man, it was just horrible. It is hot. It's 100 plus. Again, and tomorrow the 8th is supposed to be even hotter. Oh, I'll be glad when the rains get here. It is hot. It's been good 3-4 weeks of really hot weather, so be glad when it breaks. But yeah, getting there slowly but surely. Got a lot of cleanup to do. We mopped this 3 or 4 times to get all the cement and everything off. But the guy that laid these tiles, is one thing. If you're doing get Thai guys to do your tile, this guy anyway wanted to do like a 1/2-inch bed of cement, and I'm like, why? I understand they do it if their floors aren't very level, but when we pour these floors are pretty dead nuts level. I mean, if you lay just a regular trowel of tile adhesive down, it's going to stick, and it's level enough for that. And if I had any 1 or 2 high spots, I could have grinded it down, but This guy wanted to put like a 1/2 inch of mortar, which when I got to this door was okay, but he really screwed the pooch on this one. I had to cut a good 1/4 inch off of this door, and you know, he built the floor so far up that he had to redo the drain. In this room, he did this kind of slope thing, and I said, well, can you go back and do the bathroom, because it doesn't drain worth a shit. And he just, I don't know, it's just, I don't do tile, and my back and knees can't take it, and I don't do the cement stuff. But when it comes to electrical and all that stuff, I prefer to do it myself. These guys are cheap enough, but I just don't like the way they do their electrical, and I definitely don't like the way they run wires and all that stuff. And he's doing stuff he wouldn't normally do, but he's doing a good job. So you just got to keep on him, and you kind of got to know what's going on. So if you don't know what's going on, you better hire somebody that does. And if they don't keep on top of stuff, you better fire them real frickin' quick. So that's all I can say about that. Power's off again. It's stifling hot. There's no fans, no aircon. I'm hot. Are you hot, Lon? Lon? Yeah, you're sweating, little dude. Oh, it's so hot. God dang. All right, so it's the end of day Sunday. He's got one more day, maybe a day and a half left to work. But he's got the big wall outside done, the 2 big walls outside done. So let that set up and cure really good. And he got this one done yesterday. So tomorrow he's got to finish the back wall back there, this up above here. And the reason why he didn't is because he had to put this on there first. And then he'll finish this last wall in here. And then we can start cleaning. Ordered a vacuum on Lazada, so I'll have a shop vac. Got out the paint. Probably got enough primer to do everything. And got enough of the, what is it? Probably got enough of everything, because, well, no, the middle one is the trim color. So I definitely got enough of that, but we may have to buy another one of the base wall color, the light gray. But I'd really like to change something up here. I don't know what that's gonna be, but I don't know. And the reason why that's wet is because he wet the backside down. They wet the block down and then apply the skim coat to that, so that'll dry over the next couple days. So you can see where he had poked a hole earlier down there to get the water out of here, and then just different cracks in the blocks. So like right here, if you go back and look at the videos, there were 2 bricks right there, so that's why that's wet. Places like that allow the water to get through. So I'll guarantee you that there's a brick. There's bricks right here. Spots like that, there's probably a brick in there instead of a block. But yeah, it's be glad when this is done, because I'm tired of the cement dust. We're gonna have to go do a deep clean on the house, deep clean on everything in here. So, but it'll be nice when we get it all done. Then I have to buy a door for next, I don't know if I can do it this month, maybe wait till next month, but we'll see. It's not too expensive, it's 6,000 baht. So I might be able to swing it later this month. We'll just see where we're at. I can start doing electrical as soon as he clears out. I can start doing all the electrical, get that all laid out, and gonna actually put a drop ceiling in here. So get that figured out, how I'm gonna do that, what materials I need, figure out what that's gonna cost, and get that planned out, because it would be nice to get this room fixed. So get about a 12,000 BTU air conditioner, should be enough for this room, and then we'll go all from there. And about an hour and a half later, he starts to smooth it, work it smooth. Got him down there, he's already worked. Monday, April 8th, 5 o'clock, end of the day. He finished up, what's that? They left a little bit of his fishing line. They just don't care about stuff, man. So now comes the hard part, getting everything cleaned up after they come through. So what I do is I go along with the wire brush and clean that all up. As you can see, he's made a mess up there. So I'll come along and wire brush that all up, and then that way it looks halfway decent. I gotta come in here and clean up some of these edges. Little stuff like that, tape was over the rounded edge. They bring it, I don't know, anyway. Don't need to complain. But they just splatter shit all over the wall. They just finished. They use this area to clean up, but then they splatter shit all over the finished wall. So he did a pretty good job overall. better than the last guy, I will say that. But yeah, you get what you pay for, and this wasn't very much, so it was 12,000 baht, so less than $400 for 5-6 days worth of work. So can't really complain too much. And I wasn't about to tackle that. All the rest I'll do on my own, but the rest, that stuff there, he's gonna come over tomorrow in the morning and we're gonna try to fill this gap. Hopefully he can understand my ideas, or together we can work through it, get through that. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. And then just keep ticking away, starting to think about my electrical layout. One thing that irks me about Window Asia, again, you get what you pay for, but they put this tape in here. See if I can. So they put this tape in here, but there's no way to access that spot. So I got here, 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 and here. So two sides here where I can't access these two windows. So there's no way for me to get my finger in there to do that. And the center pane is locked in position, and I can't find a way to unlock it from that position. And of course, no instructions or anything come with it. And you know, if in the States, this pane would fold down or fold out or something, but these windows are just super, super cheap. But yeah, I got 4 locations there. I can't get that Windows Asia tape out, and I don't want to sit there and look at that stuff for the next 3 or 4 years. So I have sent Window Asia a message and some pictures, and let's see how they respond. On this door, I had to completely remove the handle, and that way I could slide this panel past that panel, and then I could access both sides. But yeah, on this one was the same way. This place right here, you couldn't get to there, because if I slide the door all the way over, I can't get my hand. I can get my hand in there, but I sure as heck ain't gonna be doing any work in there. And you can't pick the windows up and out. So yeah, it makes it kind of difficult. So yeah, you get what you pay for, folks, and these were cheap. So if that tells you anything, I ain't gonna complain too much more about that. They were cheap. That was $300 for a sliding glass door, I think. Yeah, not even $250 by the time you do the exchange. It was less than 9,000 baht, so 9,000 baht right now is 3,500 baht to the dollar. So it'd be 7, and it'd be 250. So if that tells you anything. But yeah, okay. I bought a vacuum from Lazada, and the vacuum works okay, I guess. Right there, a little shop vac. They sent a bunch of these little teeny tiny diameter tube as like an accessory kit to get you to buy it, but it makes absolutely no sense. There's a bunch of little pointers and little tiny brush, but if you put this, you restrict that vacuum so much, it doesn't suck very good anyway. So it's just a Thai thing that they do, or a Chinese thing. They throw that little thing in that doesn't work worth a shit anyways. So trying to get people to buy it, but it's worthless. But the vacuum seems to be okay. It's not quite shop vac standard, but I'd say it's 3/4, 2/3 that standard. So we'll see how it holds up. I'm not going to say I received it until I run it through the paces for a couple days, because that's usually when it screws up right from the get-go. So we'll run it for a day or two and see what happens.